2024, 7:15. We are recording on Zoom, Facebook, and cable TV. If you'd like to record, just let everybody know. And first of all, we'll do the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Also, if you're going to speak, please tell us who you are and who you're affiliated with, town resident or company or whatever. All right, so first up is an A&R submitted by Peter Krosik for a lot reconfiguration plan for properties located on South Street, Main Street, and Prospect Street.
School Street,
School Street.
not South.
Oh, sorry, School Street.
South is the other end of the town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, Peter, what's going on?
I'm purchasing a piece of property from St. Paul's Church, and I'm joining it with my property that's behind it. At the same time, I'm giving some easements to my neighbor that didn't have an easement through my yard, where I'm going through the church park.
Okay.
Okay, and same time too, I'm giving the church a right of way to work on their building, because it butts my property. So the church was in favor of it, because truth was, I could put up a fence and keep them out of it. But I wouldn't, just saying, somebody else could do the same.
That wouldn't be very neighborly.
No, it wouldn't be, but it's out there today, you can do that. When you don't own the property, you don't have a right of way to it. So that worked out for the church, and the future person that buys my house won't have any say in preventing them from doing maintenance.
Okay, so is there only one copy?
No,
You got Mylars?
yeah, there's one Mylar.
Oh, there is, okay.
No, I didn't get a Mylar, all I got was that.
No,
It's only one?
I gave you, I gave Jim.
Yeah, that should be down in the planning office. I can go grab it.
I'll go get it.
But no, Karen, you need to stay here for the minutes.
Let me grab it down there.
You can't
Yeah.
leave the meeting.
Let's just see the chapter. Okay. That was the draft.
That's the old version.
Yeah.
You revised it.
All right, okay. I gave Jim to finish with the Mylar. 5 copies along with the,
Take that.
yeah, get that out of here.
All right.
Sorry. That's what happens when you go to the person in charge.
These are nothing.
I saw that.
That one is
So it's this one. Good color?
nice.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, move on to it.
I don't think I want to leave the meeting now.
Does that mean that's we're gonna have longer meetings?
Maybe. You might want to.
We're off to a good start now with the longer meetings.
Longer meetings and
Yeah.
spread apart meetings.
So we really can't even move on yet either.
Nope.
No. might
We
as-
got,
'cause this
yeah,
will
everything
just
else
take
is gonna take
a
long
minute
too.
or so. These are quick, so.
Rich, there was 5 copies of the plan,
Okay.
and one of them was for the church. You only need 4 copies. That's all the town.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get the
Peter.
pen either.
I told my friend
Yeah, we
Kevin,
can.
next time I see you, he will say hi from him.
And a
You
permit.
know Kevin? One of the pastors.
Oh, oh, yeah, Kevin next door, yeah.
Not on the Mylar.
Brother Kevin.
Yeah,
We could just send it
we were talking about you.
Oh,
Well, let's say hi.
He's a good guy.
Oh, yeah, very good.
You have the felt tip pen? The permanent?
That work.
This'll work.
Yeah, that's the
For the
Sharpie,
Mylar.
but the fine tip one
Yeah, for the Mylar.
for the Mylar.
Okay, hired as your secretary.
Not yet.
Jim's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
Is the marker down there?
Mhm.
You wanna go down and see if you can intercept?
So what's your
him?
in
I
there
was
for?
told I couldn't leave.
Well,
them.
we're not doing anything now.
Okay.
Configuration. And I'm buying a piece of property from the church and buying it, joining it to my property. Been occupying it for like 40 years, so thought it was time. So,
Well, you're always taking care of the lawn. You're cleaning it up, so, you know, why not?
that was part of it. And the other part was the driveways. My neighbor never had a right of way to the road, which shouldn't be, but his property has, the last two owners had to go through there to get to their house. And they didn't have, they never had access to the road since I've been here my whole life. That property never had a road access, which it shouldn't, you know that, so.
So were they just going through the church parking
Yeah,
lot?
always.
Always.
And the church was always concerned, you know, if there was ever a dispute or something, you know, it'd be a real problem with my neighbor, so that's why we're doing it so it's legal.
Sorry, everybody, we're just trying to get the plans. They were lost in the planning board office, and once we get those, we'll be able to move on quickly.
You should say you didn't have a secretary at the time,
No.
so that was part of it. That Jim was acting.
And Karen.
And Karen
Karen's
was
been doing
out.
a ton.
And Karen was out, so that's why Jim took it.
Yeah.
You wanna talk about the progress on the building planning secretary, since we're talking?
Yeah, let's, yeah.
Well, we need Jim. Jim's been coordinating all of this stuff.
What about the site visit?
Once we get into that,
Yeah.
They're gonna Jane?
Okay.
because I think
Minutes?
Agilitas is on, are they on?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that will be lengthy.
Minutes? Approval of minutes?
Yeah, let's
Yeah, we can do that.
do
Let's get that out of the way. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for July 22nd, 2024.
Second?
That's your part.
Yeah, I'm just taking notes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Ed Longigan, aye?
Drew King, aye.
I was not there.
Right.
The July 22nd. Okay, minutes,
And then
David.
minutes for August 5th?
Motion to pass it.
Sure.
22nd.
I'll make a motion, we
Everybody
approve the minutes from August
except for
5th.
Rich. Got
Is
it.
there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Ed Longigan, aye?
Drew King, aye.
Rich Hacker, aye.
Cool.
Did you get that? Ed made the motion, David seconded. All in favor for August?
For August 5th.
5th. And then David and Drew for the 22nd, and I abstain. Is Jim not finding those?
Did Jim get lost?
I don't
No,
know.
he did not find them. He's looking upstairs in his office. I'm gonna go check my office, just in case he put them in there. I'll be in there.
Rich, you want me to wait till after?
Oh, you
no,
got
we
him.
got him.
Here
We
it
got him.
comes. They were somewhere.
Safe keepings.
Yeah, too safe.
There's the Mylar.
Okay. Now, let's see what we're doing.
Oh, and you're gonna find Tim, huh?
You told me,
And a regular
Rich
sheriff?
told me
Is it
to.
a regular sheriff?
And a
You read
regular.
that? Okay, so what are we doing? Yeah. All right, so what did it start out with?
I think he's adding parcel A.
Right. See, the part from the church is X, you see it X, That's part of
Oh, I see,
from the
that's what
church.
you're getting from the
Yes,
church, okay.
that's what I'm getting from the church. And there's a driveway through here, comes down through the church.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
have given him an easement, and the church has given him an easement.
So, all right, so this will be for your neighbor?
Yes, it will, yeah.
Okay.
And, I said that it's laid out, the piece, it's kind of an oddball shape. It is. And this right of way that was through here, this was for aquifer lines that went down, that fed the old church that was over here.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what, there was several lead lines that went down through there, that went to a well up above. And that's why it was an access route to fix it.
Well, it is free.
But yeah, it is. It also, that used to be this, like the second meeting house for the town of Warren.
Oh, yeah?
And it's all deeded on a bunch of those lots, those pieces.
All right.
You guys good?
Yeah. Is there a motion to endorse?
We're gonna do a motion.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the A&R for Peter
Crozet.
Krozak for lot reconfiguration plan for properties located on School Street, Main Street, and Prospect Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Ed Longigan, aye?
Richi Hacker, aye. It's the 19th.
It is a 19.
Motion approved.
Motion approved. You want to do this first?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, mine is as legible as yours.
Yeah.
The only one who can read her signature.
Okay, then. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Zoom out.
Sure, I gotta sign it in you now? Oh my God, you have such a beautiful signature.
That's just compared to the rest of us.
Even your scribble is better than mine.
Need a bigger table.
Yeah, we do actually.
Smaller plans.
All right, we just,
Do that and I'll just take these over as you go.
good, all yours.
I get this one.
Oh, just trying to get it out of the way.
Peter takes that one.
Peter gets this one.
Just wait for the dry.
Yeah, that's, definitely, wait a minute.
It's so cold in here, I don't know if it will.
Oh, come on. It's much more comfortable.
Does he get any other plans? Just this one?
Yeah, just a second. You're leaving 4 copies with us?
Yeah, that's the rule.
We just need 3.
I rolled it so the signatures are out.
There you go.
Thank you.
I just need one of those things. This 5.
This for you.
Is it 4? 5.
This for.
Four.
Four, they're all
Yeah,
four.
you got 4 left.
No, there's
Three
only
left.
3.
No,
We're only,
you need this. I have to do it. Come on now. We're supposed to be fine.
You got the important one.
Yeah, I got it, I'm good.
okay.
Blessing.
Nope, I have a paper clip.
And here's a second paper clip, if you need another one. Big one.
Thank you.
All right. You're all set then, Peter, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, we have a presentation by David Callahan, owner of Cal Rolling Hills LLC, about a proposed equestrian park. Mr. Callahan, come up and
Enlighten us.
talk to us.
First of all, thank you for taking the time to have this opportunity to meet with you. And, you know, maybe we should have met with the Board of Selectmen first, but knowing that 3 members of the board are also on this board, and our respect that we have for the planning board of the town of Warren, that we've been fortunate to work with for decades, that we thought we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Because going forward, we're gonna need to work with everyone.
Yeah.
But, Town of Rolling Hills comes before you this evening to present an opportunity for the town of Warren. Over the years, we've explored several different ideas and business opportunities for the property. Although many of these ideas were considered viable, we've never felt comfortable with them fitting into the landscape or the culture of the town of Warren. And if we don't think it's right for the town, we're not gonna push it. But we think we have an idea. You see, it's always been our long-term goal with this substantial parcel for it to be put to use in such a manner that would bring significant economic and social benefit to the community. We're committed to this town and its constituents that the development of this property would include a fair and equitable agreement with appropriate guarantees. And so today I'd like to speak to you about a plan that we find extremely interesting, that meets the criteria, a project that fits into the landscape and culture of Warren. Just for quick reference for all on the board, we've got a map of the property. Up front here. This is the property that we own along Gilbert Road, Quabog River, down into Brentfield. I think you all are familiar with it. Okay?
Dave,
Yes, can I
can
leave
you
it?
just pull it up to the camera so people
Where
can
is
see in
the
the camera? Just stand back a little bit.
No,
No,
just
it's
right
right
there.
here,
Yeah,
right
right
here.
here.
Oh, right here.
It's not
That's the
down.
one.
Go that way a little bit. Yep.
Oh, no, he's got it.
There you go.
They can control it.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay? We are contemplating being sponsored to build a 1-mile thoroughbred horse racing track as part of an overall equestrian park. This venue would be constructed to also accommodate horse breeding and provide a retirement home farm for retired thoroughbred racing horses. We envision that the project will be built over a course of 3 years and in phases, with the initial phase being the construction of the track, viewing facilities, and ancillary buildings necessary to initiate horse racing in central western Massachusetts. Critical to the development of the venue would be licensed gaming activities, normally associated with racing facilities. We would plan to work with the State Gaming Commission to obtain a license to allow thoroughbred horse racing and related gaming. The 3-year build-out plan would certainly include preferences for local contractors and suppliers, a preference for employment for local residents during construction and subsequent operations. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we think it is important to discuss and work on some preliminary details that provide primary consideration to the town of Warren. We envision and feel strongly that the town will have the ability to have significant input on how the project would unfold. We very much want to work in cooperation with the town of Warren. We would expect that a contract or host community agreement would be created between us as the sponsor and the town governing the development of the operation of the equestrian center. The host community agreement for the project with the town would also contemplate requirements for local hiring, local spending, as well as a host community fee. To develop a fair agreement, we would expect that the board would seek outside professional assistance or peer review to work through details of such an agreement with us as the sponsor. We certainly are open and willing to financially support or reimburse the town for expenses incurred as we work together to determine what is needed and what are the necessary next steps to achieve local and state approvals. In peer review, meaning considerations surrounding legal, engineering, environmental, all those issues to be brought forward with those professionals of your choice, which we feel is our responsibility to reimburse the town. Along with this business proposition, we envision that this opportunity can broadly reach multiple sectors of the community, bringing together different groups within the town and region. This family-friendly environment would have a positive impact of programs developed for the school system, the elderly, veterans groups, as well as others that could benefit from horse therapy and other horse-related activities on riding and walking trails throughout the park. We feel this would be a wonderful opportunity for outdoor enthusiasts, and with the amount of space, the programs could be possibly endless. We look forward to coming together with town leaders as we work through the process and the planning of the project. Now I'd like to bring up another slide. It gives you some more detail. We have gone ahead ourselves on the engineering to be able to show you that we've been able to fit the 1 mile track onto the property. And just for you all here, here's the Mass Turnpike, here's the cell tower on Gilbert Road at the bridge that crosses over, and this is the area.
So it's way at the bottom of the property in Warren, right? Is that?
That's on the southeast corner.
Yeah.
Of where the track would be. The other facilities would be spread out throughout the property.
All contained within Warren.
All contained within Warren.
How many acres would the whole facility encompass?
Well, we're contemplating using the entire property.
The entire property, okay.
The entire property.
1,500 acres?
Well, there's you know, on that small
Yeah.
piece that's down in Brimfield.
Oh, okay.
Remember? That's
Yeah,
where
okay.
MGM was gonna plant, down here in this corner down
Yeah,
here.
okay.
But yes, our consensus is to go in Warren.
Okay.
And this is just, you know, it's a highlighted sketch of some of the facilities, you know, polo fields, breeding facilities, stables, like I said, where the old retirement horses have a place to go, as well as some of the other, what I call viewing stands, restaurant, places for people to gather, and, okay?
Thank you.
Can you just hold it for the camera again,
I
Dave?
will do that right.
Thank you, sir. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
So everybody gets to see it in public too.
Yep. I welcome the board's comments and questions. We may not be able to answer all the questions you may have this evening, but as I mentioned in the opening of my presentation to you, we are here to ensure that the town's concerns, questions, and ideas are all incorporated into our plan moving forward. And, and then that leads me to say, what are our next steps? And I'm sure you have something very similar to ask me, what are our next steps? And, but I'll open the floor to any questions before I go back to next steps. So if you have any questions.
So I have a couple things.
Yeah.
Just, one of the next steps is to get with I know we're sitting here as selectmen too, but we're not here as selectmen. We're here as planning board. Two separate roles, two separate positions. One of the things that we're gonna have to do and set up a separate meeting for would be the host agreement. And that would be done by the selectmen.
I agree.
That would be an executive session, so that'd be one of the next things to do too, beyond the presentation.
I agree with you.
Good
As
presentation, by the way.
As I
It was good.
stated, we've had a lot of experience with both boards, more so with the planning board over the years than with the select board. But understanding that, yes, we do need to sit with the select board, but we did want to come here specifically, so both boards can hear some. Any questions?
You're looking at 3 years from start to completion?
No, we can get the track up and running within a year, by a year, let's just say 1 year from now, we could have that initial phase running and building out the other ancillary things.
How many buildings do you need to be built for the track to be running?
To be honest with you, I can't answer that question today. I cannot answer that question. But I'm going to assume that it's going to be more than a handful. It's going to be more than a half a dozen. It could be as many as 10 buildings.
These are massive buildings.
This is not a small undertaking.
Are you gonna do this in like 3 one-year phases, or is this just?
It'll be continual.
Continual?
It'll be continual, continual construction.
That's cool. Traffic is the thing that jumps to my mind right now. I mean,
And that, again, peer review, engineering, traffic studies, legal studies, all these things, environmental, conservation, all those peer reviews that have to, what are the, I always say, what are the 5 things you got? Traffic, property values, noise, neighbors, dust, safety. Those things have to be, you have to check those boxes. So again, yes, traffic, of course. Anything we've ever done, you always have to get the pros involved to do those traffic studies and get that unbiased information to the town.
Probably one of the biggest things we'll have to get done right away is the traffic studies, to be able to open up roadway for you to be able to go through. But you already have the quarry up there, so you have large vehicles and you're very familiar where the large vehicles can move through.
And any infrastructure improvements that are going to be required will be funded by the project, not by the town.
So where would your access be from? 67 or to get onto the property?
It would probably come through, what is that, Brook Road?
Okay.
Is that Brook Road? Am I saying
Yeah,
that?
it's at the bottom next to the
Can you pull
line.
up the map?
By the,
Can you pull up the map?
Yeah, I can do it now. Let me just share this while I'm doing this. Give me a sec. So the project's gonna be down here?
Yeah. This is where the track is envisioned to go,
Oh, like in
Okay,
here?
good.
in here.
Could we share the screen so it gets recorded?
I did.
You did? Okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
Okay, so all down in here. So then, to get to the property,
You're not
There's
gonna,
Brook
you're not gonna,
Road.
you can't cross the Meadow Bridge.
Oh, no, on Gilbert? No.
No, well, no,
No, Gilbert's
No.
not.
You could, but it wouldn't hold up for,
No, no,
you
Not
know,
long.
about a month. It would be done.
No, it's not gonna happen.
So, again, you could come in off of Route 19, Brook Road, or you're gonna come off of 67,
Well,
up
that's
South Street.
yeah.
We're not talking at all about anything to do with the turnpike.
Yeah, okay.
Yet it's easy access from the
I'm
Palmer.
sorry?
Easy access from the Palmer exit.
Easy access from the Palmer exit.
Mhm.
Perfectly said.
Okay.
Very good.
Derek?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a former architect, I really like your business model. I like how you presented it. I think there's a lot of potential for benefits for the town, Warren. And I also want to thank you for looking for those business opportunities and all types of business that could go into this property and then come in front of us to propose this one. Because I do see that Warren needs something like this to, generate more revenue, so it will be better for the residents. Thank you.
I have one more question, sorry. Do you have an estimated how many jobs this project will create?
You'll probably be in the hundreds of jobs during construction, but the actual final number, I'm gonna probably be, it could be 100
For operational
for
staff?
operations. I'm gonna say that now,
Okay.
learning as I'm going.
And that can increase,
Yes, but I feel comfortable with those numbers.
Okay.
And this is a project that, has about a $25 million price tag for the build-out. All right? And probably will be something different once we see what infrastructure needs are going to be required. All right?
in buildings, you're keeping them to the traditional value of small town style?
Architecture.
Architectural?
Yes, it'll
Okay.
fit the area.
No giant skyscraper, glass skyscrapers or anything like that?
There's not a hotel,
No,
okay, but there'd be some sort of restaurant.
there would be. I imagine there'll be, at some point, there's gonna be some housing on site for employees that are working there, whether it's single, multifamily, or some type of housing, but I'm gonna say that now, because I just think that will happen,
Potentially retail space?
potentially.
This horses require 24/7
Yeah.
care.
Correct. Correct. And we look forward to having discussions with all the appropriate boards and committees that are in the town, working with the police department, fire department, understanding their needs and being able to find solutions to meet those needs.
Yeah, 'cause there's gonna be a bit of a burden.
Nope.
How many, customers would you say, like, per
an
day,
event?
per week, per event? I don't know.
You could I would say you could see 2,000 people
Okay, per event?
for an event.
Yeah, you'll have to have police details.
Correct.
All that stuff there,
All that
so.
stuff.
Which is gonna create jobs for police officers.
And whatever public safety needs are going to be required, we will have to meet those needs.
Are you gonna have off-track betting, like the video stuff, or just the live?
No,
race?
there'll be simulcast that comes with
Okay, so you're gonna do
the license
Okay,
that you work with through the State Gaming Commission.
okay. So you'd be open for betting potentially 7 days a week or whatever,
Correct.
in part of the facility?
Correct.
Sports betting,
Sports betting, okay.
which could be very lucrative for the town.
Tremendous opportunity.
Amongst yourself too.
So I think one thing that would be good is to think about what are gonna be the impacts to the community and our way of life, right? plus do the pros and cons, and what are gonna be the benefits? I mean, I'm sure you can say some now, but I mean, that would be a good thing to know. You see benefits, tax, revenue, jobs, whatever, like, make that part of,
I think those are some of the great points and items that we will work through with the Board of Selectmen, developing a host community agreement. Those points, those fine points that you're talking about, will have to be discussed to be able to come to agreement
Yeah.
on the agreement.
We'll probably have to arrange a impact study to see what it would,
yeah,
the surrounding area, just to identify what needs would be.
yeah.
Whether it's public safety, fire department,
Road access.
road access.
Even water and sewer.
Well,
Water and sewer.
Yeah,
That'll all have to be contained on site.
okay.
That'll all have to be contained on site.
From a well.
We certainly have the water. We've been fortunate to be able to drill some wells on the property already. But as far as the sewage, at this time, I'm saying it stays on site. That will have to, I'm not envisioning trying to tap into the town of Warren plan, not knowing what its capacity or remaining capacity is left.
We have a lot of.
We have
capacity.
A lot.
It's
Well, you
probably
know
at 10%
It was
right
made
now.
for the mill complex, and with the mill complex not being at full capacity anymore.
Yeah,
And
We're
then
only
they're
using a
just gonna do
percentage.
the numbers, the economics,
yeah.
when they keep it on site, they bring it down the hill,
Yeah.
right? And get it across the river.
And it's possible that horse manure could be recycled for use for fertilizer, et cetera.
That is correct. All the inputs,
Yep,
you have an output.
yes.
Kind way of
And
saying
animals
it.
do a lot.
And with output, you've got to do something with that output.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is the challenge. That's one of the challenges of the proposal, all right?
Well, that could be, probably get with a contract, just saying with a local landscaper, maybe they sell it for you.
Yeah.
The possibilities
By the time-
are quite
Endless.
large.
Yes,
Yeah.
Endless.
So, I think conservation is definitely gonna be high on your list, cause in your plan, you're near wetlands.
Yes,
So I would deal with that probably first. I think then, like, you're gonna need a lot of permits. So building department would be
Yeah.
next in terms of, if you're gonna house people, you're gonna need permits for all that stuff, just anything to build, besides the special permits that you may need here. So that would be a big visit.
So
Yes.
Chairman,
And then, well, and then the other thing is Board of Health. And I don't know, does the ACO get involved in this at all?
But-
For animals?
Not the ACO, but the animal inspector,
Inspector.
which is also the ACO, and she would do barn inspections on there, and that would be determined for the host agreement on how often that would be. Right now, she'd be required to do an annual inspection, and that's per state. She would have to meet the state requirements, put that in the book, report that to Massachusetts, what the findings are. So,
All right.
but
Yeah,
I
so
don't know
Board
if
of
there's
Health.
anything more strict because it is more of a commercial horse facility.
Yeah, that may be
There
different.
might be additional requirements by the state that they want. But I know right now, just for a general farm and a barn inspection, it's just an annual inspection.
There's nothing like this in Massachusetts.
we know that. I would ask permission to be able to, because I can't remember everything, if I could have an opportunity to read some of the minutes, so I don't miss anything.
Well, you can also get these recordings.
That I can. You know
Zoom,
what?
Facebook,
Yep, you got it.
It's gonna be on
YouTube.
YouTube,
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
on YouTube.
yeah,
so you'll be able to watch it anytime.
yeah.
Perfect.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Jared, go ahead.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's not gonna be easy. even though you check a lot of the boxes, you know, besides the kind agreement and all that, next time, next step, maybe to look at a more master site plan with more detail of exactly what things you're gonna be doing, so when we ask questions about how many buildings, how many this, it will be really helpful to have, you know, something a little more tangible on
And
the
you will.
technical space.
And you will. We wanted to take this opportunity to introduce the concept to you tonight, and we will be meeting with much more detail,
Perfect, excellent.
much more detail. Right? But, so, who should I should contact the selectman's office to set up a meeting?
Contact Mr. Farrar.
All right.
Contact Mr. Farrar, he'll set up a meeting and facilitate a host agreement, and we'll get with legal, because that would have to be done in an executive session for that.
Right? Rich, anything?
I'm just gonna check with anybody here. Anybody have a question? Ray?
Mr. Chairman, does anyone here, can anyone speak to what involvement would be needed with the State Gaming Commission and what kind of time frame that would present? Or,
Dave, can you talk about, because that's
I
something,
can,
another thing.
the first thing that's needed, there needs to be an affirmation from the Board of Selectmen to the Gaming Commission that we are in discussions. Whether that's a letter that's put together by the board, put together by Jim, I don't know how that, but, and to make them aware that we are now formally sitting down to discuss host community agreement, and to come to an agreement that we can then present to the gaming. They won't do anything, talk to anyone, unless there is, first of all, they know there's an affirmation that we've initiated discussions. But unless there is a host community agreement or an agreement with the community, you don't even put in an application. That's almost like one of the
So, Jim,
first things that has to happen.
Can you get that done?
sure. Is anyone here familiar at all, like what kind of time frame it would be? Say they did that next week,
Yep.
through the chair, if I may.
Yeah.
You do that next week, before they give any, it sounds like there's a lot of firsts that need to happen here, but there is obviously a prime first. You can't go anywhere until the Gaming Commission gives a green light, I presume. You can do some studies, but you're not gonna move any dirt or
No, sir,
put up
you're not.
any lumber on
You are
site.
absolutely correct.
Does anyone have any awareness what kind of time frame it would be before the Gaming Commission says, proceed with your next step?
Personally, I believe that Gaming Commission would act on this first quarter of 2025. So 6 months away. They would put their thinking caps on and make some decisions. It will not be next week, it won't be next
No, I
month,
know.
it won't be 2 months from now, it won't be Christmas,
I know.
okay?
Yep.
Anything else? Gentlemen?
So in those 6 months, you just kind of refine the plan, maybe visit the
And
boards?
even do something, and initiate those peer reviews.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the studies. And that's all studies. We've got to work with the conservation, we've got to work with the city. We've got a plan, in my opinion, we've got a plan that this is going to get a green light, and I want to be ready and have our ducks in a row, agreements made, contracts agreed to, guarantees written on what will take place. And that's all at risk. That's our risk.
Yeah.
But that's part of the deal.
Well, I know what's gonna help us, and probably the other boards too, is well-defined plans, good drawings, details.
Yep. Yes.
You know, if it's gotta be stamped by an engineer, get it stamped, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, any of that that isn't done just causes delays and, you know, questions, so the more detail, the more expansive it is, the better.
Right, I mean, you know
More
how
thorough.
it works.
Yeah.
And if I may have the opportunity to work with Jim to go through those checklists to make sure I'm ticking off all the boxes that you want to see checked off.
That's what he's here for. He's a resource for you.
Thank you, thank you. Do you have any more further questions?
Actually,
Public aspects. Joyce?
if I may have a conversation directly with
Oh,
Mr.
like
Mr.
afterwards?
Callahan. If you would submit something to the Conservation Commission as soon, as in before the trees turn, a resource area delineation, an NRAD or something along those lines, we can get a peer reviewer out on site while there's still vegetation on the trees. We don't want to do this in the winter, because we're just going to hold off and kick the can until spring to do the delineation, verification. So if you can get it in like ASAP, we can go and have the delineation verified soon,
Okay.
if that makes sense. And if not, it's just we're gonna have to kick the can further down the road.
Mr. Chairman?
So you're talking like in the next 30 days?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah,
That is very important because that's gonna define your master plan.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can't get into their jurisdiction. You have to stay away from whatever they
Yes.
tell you to stay away.
Yes.
And that's gonna change the shape of your project.
And we worked very hard with our engineered drawing of the facility, with the state maps, all the wetland maps. They really put a lot of time and effort into this. And
So you really tried to stay out of jurisdiction.
no question. I'm not gonna say we got completely out, but we're at a minimal amount. And we understand what the limits are for remediation and things that you have to do.
That's all conservation and
I understand that.
they are tough.
yeah.
Well, I understand.
It's all it's surrounded by wetlands, so we'll have to take a look at it.
And that's definitely a good first stop, because
Yeah.
like Derek said, I mean, if you have to tweak it, 100 feet this way or 100 feet up, I
Yeah.
mean, it may change a whole lot of stuff that,
No question.
All right.
All right?
Anything else?
Any other?
I
Anybody
think
else?
it's a great idea and
Yeah.
unique opportunity for the town.
Great idea.
Yeah,
Thank you for looking out.
Benefit to the town.
All right. Cool. See you soon.
all right.
I'll see you there.
Thank you. Thank you for that tip.
Thank you, Derek.
Take care, Dave. Next.
All right, so we are gonna talk about our site visit to the Agilita Solar Site, which was the 8th? Yes, it was on the 8th, August 8th at afternoon.
You all guys, everybody got the pictures, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
yep, and I have the reports, the OTO reports up here also. So I'll just read from this. Basically, what happened was there was a breach on Basin 1 of the spillway, right, the overflow, July 15th because of a heavy rain. And so we were basically there to visit the aftermath and some of the work that was being done.
This is the one we've been monitoring for a while.
Yeah.
Very worried about because we've seen water kind of coming through
Yeah,
the side of the
base.
basin.
Yep.
And, it caused us to have a lot of concern about where that water was coming from, whether it was groundwater or if it was coming through the basin and defeating it.
Mhm.
And apparently, we were right, and it got defeated.
Yeah.
So-
And this basin also had a blowout, same spot, in December. So this is the second occurrence.
That actually went into wetlands, which conservation had jurisdiction in,
Yep,
Both
so
times.
both times. Yeah.
they have to clean it with hand shovels and
Doing a good job.
All right, so is anybody from Agilitas on? I can't see any.
Is Nick?
There's Nick. Let me,
Is he in Italy still?
I wish.
You're back now?
So I'm here, obviously, Nick Fasandola from the Level Design Group, engineer working for the site. With me on the call, we have Alex Remillard and Chris. Chris's last name is escaping me from the moment. Cornier. Apologies, Chris. Both from Agilitas. I was not at the site visit. I apologize for not being able to attend. I believe the Agilitas reps on with us this evening. We're both at the site walk. And so all the statements you guys made are correct. The basin did have a failure a few months back, late 2023, of the spillway area where the berm essentially fell apart in that area and released a decent amount of material, basins, berm, sand, material that was brought in to construct that basin did wash into the wetland, as stated. And ongoing work has been going on to remove that material by hand, and there's a remediation plan in place with conservation. I know Joyce can speak to that more if you guys have any questions on that, but the work is ongoing to clean that area up. Since this last minor breach, I call it minor because it's not as bad as the initial breach that we had. We've been out on the site a few times. We did some test pits in the berm area, trying to determine, what's the cause of this failure, and what are we going to do to prevent it from happening again? Obviously, this is something that the property owner and project owner does not want to occur. We know it's a pain in the butt for the town. You guys don't want to have us here explaining what's happened out there and having these issues happen, and we don't like it either. So we're taking a slower approach. We've taken some samples of material from inside the berm just to make sure all the materials are to spec. And we've done, like I said, we've done a few test pits, and we're going to be doing some additional work with deconstructing that basin berm, and also preparing an updated design plan to submit to the planning board. We'll copy conservation on it, and we'll send it over to OTO to take a look at too, for what we're looking at for a repair. And long story short, the repair is going to be fix the berm. We're not going to move the basin. We're not going to reinvent the wheel, but we are going to include some additional measures within that spillway and berm reconstruction to fortify that. I know there's been some discussions about possible concrete spillway, clay liner material within that area. We're looking at all those possible options, possibly moving the spillway further down the basin berm to an area that has not yet been compromised. So we're looking at all those options, and we're hoping to have a design out to you guys hopefully by the end of the week. As part of the reconstruction work, we're going to be continuing our investigative efforts to determine what caused this. It's a tough situation. We want to go in there and just rip the whole thing apart slowly and really see where the issues are, but then we don't have a functioning basin, and the weather has been very sporadic with intense rainstorms. So the basin as it sits today is functioning. The test pits we've done have not compromised the remainder of the berm. That's been our number one priority. So we're hoping in the next week or few weeks, when we have some more stable weather, where we don't have these crazy end of summer storms where we're getting a couple inches of rain over short periods of time, that we'll be able to go in and do this work and get this basin repaired and truly understand why this happened again.
Is there any danger that, if we get a big storm next week, is there going to be a problem? Since, it is in a sort of compromised state right now, right? That spillway.
The crest is a little bit lower, as you can see, you saw from, when you guys were on site, it did look to be, about a foot lower, where some of the material did wash through. We've added additional erosion controls through that area and, have, fortified that section of the basin on a temporary basis, added a little extra stone, and, checked that area out. We don't feel the event that caused this was very extreme. I believe there was like 2.5 inches of rain in an hour. I think I wasn't in the area, but I'm sure anybody who lives in the area, based on the reports I received from the people on site, it happened at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So there was still a lot of the solar facility workers there, the people installing the panels and doing that work. And they said they'd never seen it rain like that in their lives before. And that goes along with the report provided by our wetland scientist, where he was describing how wide the stream channel got that actually carried that material. He said it got about 20 feet up on each side of the banks, where it's usually a 4-foot wide channel. So it was an extreme event. We're hoping not to get anything like that in the next few weeks, but we do feel that the basin in its current state it's not a liability, but we do need to get it fixed as quickly as possible. But we don't want to rush that process. We want to make sure it's done properly and in the right time period where the weather allows it. As I'm sitting at my house, I'm hearing a storm rolling in right now. So it's always a gamble at this time of year. Recently, this is how the storms have been. But we do want to work with the town, take any recommendations that you guys have or that conservation may have, and work with OTO in getting this fixed, because we're not happy about it. I know you guys certainly not happy about what's occurred there.
Question, I'm gonna see if OTO has anything.
Okay.
So, Stephen, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, can you just give us any
observations or comments that you have?
Yeah, so like Nick had said, I mean, you can see in the top of the spillway, the crest of the spillway, that there was some settling in there and some material got washed out from underneath that. I think that awaiting the plan and what the fix will be, we would like to see that. And I think a slow deconstruction and of that spillway, when that happens, that would be a good thing to see how this is. See if we can put some pieces together on how it is failing and how the farm sand is getting washed out. That would be beneficial. But until then, I think we'll wait and see.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, I don't.
Looks like we got a plan. We knew it was gonna happen, it happened, and
Yeah.
now we gotta make sure it doesn't happen again. And Nick seems to be on it.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, you think, like next week, we possibly could see a new design, or?
Yeah, definitely. No, it's in the works. Like I said, we just want to make sure we explore all the options and, do what we can in this round, not just rebuild it as it is. We want to make some improvements to, obviously this is a problem area. We want to make some changes to the design and to fortify this above and beyond what's typically required, as this does seem to be a problem area. So we're gonna take our time and really fortify that area. But yeah, I'm thinking you guys will have something definitely by next week for sure.
Any questions in the audience?
No?
Okay. All right. I guess then we're good. Yeah, we're all set, so we'll look forward to seeing those plans and the design and hopefully get this fixed.
This time.
Yeah. Be good.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, obviously reach out to the team. If you have any questions for myself, I'm sure you have my contact info. More than happy to answer any questions or meet on site if there's anything you're questions about or are concerned about.
Okay. All right,
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you.
You too. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. All righty. Any comments, concerns? Nope.
Hopefully this will be the final fix.
We could talk about the secretary part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the planning board secretary? Do we have any news?
So, yep, we have a meeting scheduled for this Thursday at 4 o'clock with interviews. We just got a confirmation today from one of the candidates that we just interviewed last week. Will be coming in at 4 o'clock. So we definitely have 3 interviews confirmed, 1 maybe.
Oh,
3
a
confirmed.
fourth.
Are these your first round interviews?
Second round.
Oh, good.
These will be second round.
All right, cool.
Yeah. These are finalists.
And we've reached out to the building commissioner, and the building commissioner will be present. And we reached out to electrical inspector. I don't think he's going to be available, but he did offer some comments that we could certainly circulate, the night of the interviews.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Good, yeah, close.
Close.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, well, if there is nothing else,
I'll do a motion to adjourn.
Oh, next meeting.
Oh,
yeah, we should.
Oh,
do
yeah,
next week.
next meeting. That's the,
Well, I believe that's.
We
gonna-
didn't, oh yeah, we did the minutes.
It would have,
Yeah, we
it
did
would
do
have
minutes
to be the
enough.
9th of September.
9th.
9th.
We're gonna have the marijuana people here, the, what do they call it, Devil Mountain?
Yeah.
Little
the
Rest
one-
Road.
The one who was, yeah,
Oh, they-
the one who was here before?
Yep.
Okay.
John something, I can't remember his
Okay.
name.
Yeah, so the 9th.
Yep. 9/9.
Okay.
it's in there.
All right, there's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Ed Longigan, aye?
King, I.
Rich Hacker, aye. We are adjourned.